Hi, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here, and today I got an airplane that I haven't flown in quite a long time. It's a really old 800 millimeter FMS Zero. It can be squirrely, so I'm excited to get this thing out here. I had to buy a new canopy, a new cowl, new prop. I've been rough on this before, so I'm hoping for a great flight. We're going to cross our fingers. Let's get this thing in the air and see how it does. All right, guys, I got it loaded up with Spectrum AR631. I got safe set up for a hand launch because it is super squirrely off of the ground. And in fact, you got to bring it in a little bit hot to get a decent landing, but I think we're going to be okay. She's not super responsive on the throttle, so we're going to get her set for full throttle and then give it a nice hand launch. Let's do it. There we go. A little bit of up. So, all right, let's keep it going. As it was not liking whatever I just did. All right, safe off. So definitely climbing. So I let it climb up there. I'm just about all down trim. That looks pretty decent. Well, still a little bit of climb there as it leveled out. And save is making it climb, so not sure what that is. I did set it up for launch, like launch mode, so maybe that's part of it, but that is all my down trim, so I will have to make a mechanical adjustment, but I got it pretty close. Just having to give it a little bit of down on the stick. I did give it a little bit of expo, about 20% today. But you can see it is flying decent. I am about 1/2 to 3/4 throttle. And it's not too far off now, so just a little bit of adjustment and I'm going to be dialed in really nicely. The elevators got 2 push rods coming from the servo, so it's got one of those hex head adjustments where I'll loosen it up and then I'll be able to adjust them. And they adjust separately, so it's a little bit tricky, but I shouldn't have any trouble. Still climbing. Should be able to pull off a really good loop. Oh, so since I forced it out of that loop at the very bottom, it did stall just a little bit. You can tell when one wing drops. So going full throttle when I do those rolls, there's not a huge difference between half and full throttle, but it's just enough. And you want to keep some speed when you turn a big bank like that. So with it climbing like that, it is going to be a little bit tricky on the landing. We'll keep it in the air a little bit longer. So when I come straight like that, I am pushing down on the elevator just, like 5%. Maybe not even 5%. It's not very much at all, really. Just enough to, if I had Allen wrench here with me, I'd go ahead and land it and fix it, but I don't. I slow it down. It looks really nice, but the problem is I know at the lower speed, it's just kind of like floating like for a landing. And I don't want to fly it that way too long or it will stall. And definitely not in a bank. So we'll get a faster loop in here. There we go. And keep the throttle in so that it doesn't stall coming out of it. Not too sure about doing a whole circuit inverted, but here we go. Holding full throttle for the whole thing. There we go. It did it. I don't think I'm quite up to trying to do an inverted loop with this thing, but I'm looking forward to actually getting this back home and adjusting that elevator. There's my timers giving me the countdown for the landing. So let's get it back down here on the right end. And we'll try to get it to touch down right here in front of me. I do want to fly this onto the ground. Just like that. A little skid there, but I'm on the ground safely. If you guys seen the videos, I think it's been at least 2 years ago since I've flown this airplane. And I used to try and flare it, really get it slow and flare. And this does not have flaps. And it would always stall and roll to the left and really mess it up. But you can see I was able to get it on the ground by flying it onto the ground. I'm tempted to try and take off. The problem with the takeoff is you always get that power turn to the left. And if you don't get enough speed and you force it up into the air, then you get that stall and it... So we'll save it for the next time out. I don't want to mess it up. And I'll make an adjustment on that elevator. We'll try and get this all straightened out. So guys, FMS Zero was a lot of fun, even though the trim's just out just a little bit. We'll get it cleaned up and get it back in the air soon. I think that the hand launch is the way to go, using safe, and then take it out of safe and have fun with it. And when you bring it in for a landing, make sure that you're carrying plenty of speed. This thing will get to the ground with no problem. You do not want to get this too slow. It likes to stall. So beautiful day this Sunday. One more week and we get to move the clocks, and I'll have a lot more time in the evening to get out and fly. I'm really looking forward to that. As soon as that happens, I shouldn't have any excuse to not get flights in. And yeah, the FMS Zero, man. Oh, I appreciate all your guys' support. Until next time, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here.